Hey YouTube, this is DZ Maven here. I'm back once again. And like many of you, I've been kind of stuck at home most of the time during these virus times. I've been catching up on some Gunpla while I am at home. You may recall from a few years ago I worked on a perfect grade Strike Gundam project, and part of that was the Skygrasper and Hail Striker pack. I kind of put those off for a while and I just moved on to other projects. They've been kind of sitting in a box for a while, and I decided to finally get around to working on those, use what paints I had left over from the Strike Gundam. So it took me a while to kind of figure out what color scheme I wanted to go with here, but I know I wanted to go with something more military, Navy, Air Force like with it, not go with the standard bright white and blue color scheme of it. And then I found on the Gunpla wiki there was an alternative color scheme for the Skygrasper, utilizing mostly gray and black color schemes, the KT Matagen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, the KT Matagen version of the Skygrasper. Basically, reading the dude's bio, he's basically a collector of mobile suits and mobile weapons, and he's from Gundam Seed, Destiny, Astray manga. I'm not familiar with it, but whatever. The color scheme was pretty close to kind of what I envisioned for the Skygrasper, and I happen to have the colors for it, so I just kind of went with that. So anyway, here it is, the perfect grade Skygrasper. I think it turned out really good. Again, I went with the mostly a light gray color scheme and black. These are mostly just leftover colors from the perfect grade Strike Gundam I made. Still had the yellow. Used the water slide decals I had from that kit as well, and I think overall everything turned out pretty good here. I have it on the stand right now here because I was taking photos of it earlier here, but kind of give you a look at this thing all around here, and we'll go over a little bit more of the finer details of this in a moment here. Overall, as a kit and build, it's actually pretty simple, I'd say. I mean, it's not like super complicated like you would normally expect from a perfect grade Gundam figure, for instance. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of moving parts on this thing. There's really not much of a interior detail on the kit itself. I mean, most of the interior detail is going to be inside the cockpit here. Everything else is pretty plain looking, very simple. Not really a whole lot to see underneath the external shell of the kit here. In terms of the stuff that does articulate on the kit here, obviously you're going to have the cockpit hatch here. This just kind of opens up like so. I did up the interior here. I think I did a pretty good job with the interior on this here. This pilot figure, I believe, is the Mu Lafaga figurine that comes with the kit. I went ahead and did it up in yellow. I really didn't know what other color scheme to go with that, so I just went with yellow and black. I think it looks pretty good. See a little bit of the interior detail there I did. A lot of this I used toothpicks to paint. I think it came out pretty good here, and cockpit hatch just closes right back up like so. Moving on back, we do have the main beam gun on the Skygraspers right here. It can tilt up and down a little bit here, like so, and it's obviously on a swivel, so it can turn around just like that. Moving on back to the back of the kit here, the little ailerons, these can move up and down, like so. There's a little flap right here on the very back. You can go up or down. The little hatch for the striker packs is right here. That can fold down, just like so. Hope you can see that in the video here. Just push that back up, out of the way. Now on the underside of the kit here, we do have a little sliding hatch here. This is for where the stand connects into. Now most of the moving parts are going to be on these little two engine weapon holder mechanism systems that are kind of on the end of the wings here. The way these work, they basically slide open like this, like that, and the little clamp will pull up like that. There's a little cover right here. This covers up a little hole right there, and this is where some of the other striker pack stuff would plug into right there. Now this was something I was wondering about when I built this kit. This thing came out many years ago and was kind of designed around the Ale striker pack, and if you guys are aware, there is now a perfect grade perfect strike Gundam, which has the sword pack and the launcher pack. I went ahead and looked into it just to see if those would actually fit on the perfect grade Skygrasper, and apparently they do. But they do use a lot of adapters to fit on the perfect grade Skygrasper, so they just won't fit by themselves on this. From what I've seen, I looked at the pictures on DeLong.net. He seems to be the only person I'm aware of that has both the perfect grade Skygrasper and the new perfect grade strike Gundam. And he has some pictures of it, of all the adapters that have to go on the Skygrasper in order to fit the sword pack and the launcher pack onto it. But if you do happen to have both of these kits, you can fit those on the Skygrasper. So, but I don't think there's actually very many people that actually have both of these kits here. So, moving back to the underside here, we do have hatches for the cockpit mechanism here. This will fold open like so, and this has to come out. This is not on a lever. This is actually just a peg. So I find this like really hard to get this piece out. You probably have to angle it just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. This falls out. This will stick on the landing gear here. The other hatches are going to be right here and here on these things here, and these are kind of hard to get out as well because they're just little wedges. I'll get them off camera. Hold on. There we go. You kind of almost need to get a toothpick to get these out. Come on. The other one popped right out. Oh, I broke my toothpick. Come on. There we go. Got it. And those are the openings for the landing gear pegs to go into. Alright, so here it is with the landing gears in. Here's the front landing gear. The hatch just kind of sticks on the back of it like so. Very nice. Now the back landing gears, there's actually two peg holes in here. So one is for sort of the normal mode of the Skygrasper. It kind of hangs down lower like this. And the other peg hole is for extending the landing gear up higher. This is for when you have any of the striker packs on the Skygrasper. So this kind of keeps the whole thing off the ground more. Okay, so you can see it here with the perfect grade strike Gundam here, just to kind of see what the size is compared with the actual strike Gundam. Here it is. Strike Gundam's still pretty big, towering over it. And off in the corner here I have the little tiny 1/144th real grade Skygrasper, just so you can see the size comparison between these two. 1/144th, 160. Alright, now in terms of accessories for the kit itself, there really isn't much except for the landing gears, but you do come with these two clamps. These are for attaching the beam rifle and the shield to the Skygrasper. I'll put some photos up of what that looks like here. But the clamps pretty much just slip onto the shield and the beam rifle. Kind of gotta be careful that you line the actual. There's a little notch on these clamps that you have to line up with a peg on the shield. You want to be sure you line that up instead of forcing the clamp on. The clamp on the beam rifle just you can kind of finagle it around the scope and the bottom of the rifle, and then it will just kind of slip right on. And those just kind of fit right into little holes on the side of the Skygrasper that open up when you slide those little segments back on the little pods on the side. So, and they just plug right in. They fit. It's a pretty tight fit. I mean, once they're in there, they're actually really in there. So, but they're on there. Alright, and here it is on the turntable, giving me a little bit of a 360 view of the Perfect Grade Skygrasper. I painted up and everything here. So anyway, that's pretty much going to be it for this. This is not really a review per se. This is more like just an overview of the kit and generally what it's like. You can look at some of the what I did when I worked on it on the live stream videos I have on my channel. Other than that, it's a pretty nice kit for a Perfect Grade. Like I said at the beginning, it's actually pretty basic. It's a pretty easy build, I would say. Not really a whole lot of detail underneath it, but you're not really going to see any of that stuff anyway. So, but yeah, that's kind of about all I really have to say about it right now. I still have the Ale Striker pack to do, and I don't know when I'm going to get around to that. That I will have to go get some more paint for. So, depending on how much longer this stay-at-home stuff goes, maybe I'll get around to that as well. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well and you're staying safe in these crazy times here. And I'm gonna see if I can work on some more Gunpla related videos in the time I'm stuck at home here. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed and take care and be safe. This